Hey everyone, I've been meaning to do this video for a while. When was my last video? Like a year ago? When I was talking about Ghostbuster boots? Well, I've been meaning to do a video comparing these two suits, the Ectowear and Magnoli. Now, there are other options, obviously. These are like the top tier, in my opinion, for picking out a flight suit for your Ghostbuster cosplay. But yeah, I'm gonna compare the two and go over pros and cons. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible because I'm a simple kind of guy, man. I stick to the basics. So when it comes to Ghostbuster flight suits or uniforms, there's plenty of options to consider, depending on your budget and what you're going for as far as accuracy. The flight suits and when I'm speaking of Ghostbusters, I'm speaking of Ghostbusters 1. I don't really care much for Ghostbusters 2. I enjoy it, but I'm just not a big fan of it. So yeah, Ghostbusters, for the original flight suits, they were custom made in studio by the wardrobe department, and they based their flight suits off of the CWU 27P. I think that's the model of the flight suit. But yeah, they custom made the suits based off of that design, and they used ripstop fabric, khaki ripstop fabric. Now, there are other options, as I said before, to pick from when it comes to your Ghostbuster flight suit. There's a true spec, which is a budget friendly. I mean, there are cheaper options than that, than a true spec. But as far as affordability and sizing, go with the true spec. If you don't care about accuracy, a true spec is fine. But then there's also a regular CWU 27P suit that you can get used or brand new. I think used, you can grab one for like $50 on eBay, or you'll probably end up spending $200 for a brand new one. It won't be as accurate, but it'll have the same pocket placement, and design, the layout of the pockets. But I decided to go with the top tier, Ectolabs and Magnoli. Now, both of these suits are made from khaki ripstop, but as you can plainly see, they're both different shades of khaki. The Magnoli suit is a darker shade, obviously, but I can tell you this, that there are instances where I'm in different lighting and it pulls off that khaki gray look like in the movie. Same goes for the Ectowear. There are times where I'll be in different lighting and it'll look very khaki or very khaki gray. But again, that's going to change with different lighting. I mean, if you put it in green lighting, it's going to look green. But yeah, I mean, they both look good. But let me see if I could bring it up closer. Okay. There you go. As you can see, the square pattern in the stitching, that's a big indicator for ripstop. Same goes for this one. I think it's more pronounced on the Magnoli than it is the Ectowear. Oh yeah, and when it comes to patches, both suits I have different patches on. They're the same design, Ghostbusters 1 design, but they're both made by different makers. The Ectowear, he supplies patches from a guy named Chris from gbpatches.com. Now, the design, yeah, I think it's pretty spot on. The problem is, though, it's not as screen accurate as, you know, the Todd Cook patches. The Todd Cook patches, he uses a like a fuzzy mole skin, I think, or because that's what the original was made out of. Whereas it doesn't look like the Ectowear patches are. But again, they both look the same. So if you're not caring about 100% screen accuracy, then yeah, it doesn't matter. They both look the same. They both look good. Same goes for the name tape. This is done by GB Patches. So it's not as screen accurate. It doesn't have the wonk like the screen accurate patches did. Whereas Todd Cook, he adds the wonk to the name tape. So yeah, like I said, both are, you know, good patches. You can't go wrong with either one. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention, this is the deluxe Magnoli suit. So what I mean by that is that Magnoli decided to replicate the two-tone khaki look in the first movie, because if you go, this is debated by many other people, and the eyes don't lie. You know, they were two-toned, but they weren't two-toned intentionally. You know, I think what happened was when wardrobe managed to get a hold of the khaki ripstop, they grabbed a bunch where there were two shades of khaki, and they just made it work. They probably didn't think it was going to be picked up on camera, which at first, you know, it didn't. I mean, I don't remember seeing the two-tone on my VHS copy when I was a kid. But then again, as a kid, you don't notice things as much. It wasn't until the Blu-ray came out and we started getting these pictures of higher resolution, and we started noticing, hey, there are patches of fabric that are a different color. And if you don't believe me, go to the Ghostbusters reference library website and look at all the screen caps of all, you know, the shots where they're wearing their uniforms, and you can see the shoulder fabric and the chest pocket. They're all different. They're different shades of khaki. They're different. They're two different colors. And of course, you got people say, "Oh, that was because of the lighting." Yeah, that does come into play, but come on. In other lighting, in other scenes, it's more pronounced, and you can see it clear as day. So, in my mind, they were two-toned. I just wish that Ectowear would do the two-tone look as well, but not my horse, not my race. So pros and cons. Well, like I said, they're both good suits. I don't think you could go wrong with either one. One is made in the United States. That's Ectowear. They make it in-house in Texas somewhere. And the Magnoli, I think it gets made in the Middle East or somewhere in that area. Probably a sweatshop. I don't know. But personally, for me, I prefer things to be made here in America. And so if you care about that, go with Ectowear. What else? They're about the same price. I think they both run. I think the Ectowear is slightly more expensive than Magnoli, only because it's made in the U.S. So I think it's like $50 more. So I paid for the Magnoli, I think about $400. The Ectowear I paid about $450, and I think that included free shipping. Comfortability, they're both comfortable. I will say this though, and this is a con for the Magnoli. Even though both these tags say 100% cotton or whatever, I'm not sure about that, because I put on the Ectowear with clothes on underneath, and it's much more breathable. I don't shed a sweat, you know. But when I'm wearing the Magnoli and just down to my boxers and t-shirt, I'm sweating like a pig. Especially in the summer. It's like it's August. So I would definitely recommend wearing the Magnoli when it's cold outside. But I think Magnoli is slightly more accurate when it comes to the two-tone look. But you know, like I said, you can't go wrong with either suit. So so the only thing I could do is recommend both. They're both good suits. They both pull off the look. You put these things on and you go downtown, people are gonna, you know, with that patch on, people are gonna know that what you're all about. Yeah, you're Ghostbusters, all right. So they both come with leg hose connectors too. I forgot to mention that. But both leg hoses I have attached here are Todd Cook leg hose connectors. To me, when it comes to leg hose connectors, Todd Cook has the best. If you want to go with whatever Magnoli and Ectowear supply, that's cool too. But I just prefer Todd Cook when it comes to leg hose connectors. So yeah, that's about it. I'll post some pictures with this when I post this on the Facebook fans or Facebook groups. But yeah, I try to keep this as simple as possible. So honestly, I can't recommend one over the other. I can only recommend both, because you can't go wrong. It all depends on your taste. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's about it. I better get back inside because it looks like it's about to rain. So, definitely don't want to get these guys wet. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.